Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Invincible Journey. This is the episode 5 of the Invincible Journey, and what better than a cricketer on board and on the show? So we have Chirag Jain, who is a budding sports person, cricketer by heart, and always dedicated his life to cricket. Some of his major experiences we need to highlight. He's been currently training with the Bouncer Sports Academy. He's played several under 19 matches in Chennai. He's also playing the TNCA 4th Division League. He has been a sports secretary at the Jain International Residential School. Not that. He's also been a school cricket team captain, selected to Shivamoga Second Division Cricket Club. He's played against several under 19 teams from New Zealand, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. He's been all rounder, batting, bowling, fielding, everything at its best. He has played against New Zealand B club team as well, and also he has trained and played against the Kolkata Knight Riders, the IPL team. He's also been vice president at the Asha Club NGO. With other sports, with cricket as its main profession, he has also played some other sports like volleyball and badminton. Not only that, there are some extracurricular activities in which he expertise in. He's a singer as well. So he's been a full package of what a true sportsman is. So Chirag, welcome on the show, and we are really honored to have you on this show. And we need to have a great conversation ahead so that people know about your journey and लोगों को पता चले कि एक क्रिकेटर की जिंदगी जो जितनी ग्लैमरस दिखती है उतना ही डेडिकेशन और हार्ड वर्क रहता है. So welcome on the show, Chirag. I hope we have a good
Thank
conversation.
you. Yeah.
So before we begin with, you have a very decorated sports portfolio. You have a very decorated portfolio. You have played against many good teams and also international teams. तो ये सब ऐसे ही एक दिन ऐसे सुबह उठ के चीजें नहीं होती है. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of struggle going on. So when was the first time you started your journey as a cricketer and you decided to start playing cricket?
Uh, so let me begin from the start. So what happened was, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was, this was the time when it was 2011 World Cup,
Oh,
and everyone knows that the hero of the 2011 World Cup, Mr. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the captain of our Indian cricket team. So he played a big role in my life because seeing him I grew up, and seeing him I started my cricketing journey. And not only because of that 11 World Cup incident, but also about his character. I would like to say that the way he carries himself and the way he, addresses the gathering in front of everyone. So I liked his character. I liked how he carries himself in front of the large audience. So that was the one thing which attracted me towards him, and because he's only the reason I have started playing cricket.
right.
And since then, it's been a good journey till now.
Right, exactly. I guess a lot more cricketers who are aspiring cricketers and who play cricket, MS Dhoni is like a case study for them because the way his composure, the way he remains calm in situations, in pressure situations, is really commendable. So, moving on, you started cricket because of MS Dhoni and because of his wonders he did in his in the 2011 World Cup. But moving on, as we all know, cricket is a religion in a country,
Yeah.
and do you want to pick up that call?
No, no, no.
Yeah. Okay. So cricket is a religion in our country, and you have got a chance to play and train against commendable IPL teams as well as commendable players, which are really thorough professional. So, how was your experience sharing the pitch with them, sharing the field with them?
As I said that I have been with the KKR team. I was in school. I was in my 11th standard. I was in
Mhm.
Bangalore, Jain International School, and that's when the KKR team came to our school for a small practice session.
Mhm.
It was the IPL season. I guess they came for the practice session in our school, and not the whole squad, but half of the squad was with us in our school for the practice, like Dinesh Karthik, Robin Uthappa, Rinku Singh, and so a couple of players were there with us. So training with them, I felt that I spoke with some of the players like Dinesh Karthik and Rinku Singh. What they said to me openly is that they say me. I asked them that how good you are, like how hard do you train for a game, before a game. Like, why do I see so much of difference between you and us? What's the difference? So he said that I would tell you frankly one thing, Chirag, that there's not much difference between you and me. We both are the same cricketers. Only the thing which separates between us is the mindset. Only the thing is we train our mind better than yours because we give the sport 24 hours. I mean, we commit ourselves for the sport 24 hours. So that's why our mind is so strong. Our mental ability is, so strong, and we work really quick. So that's where you have to work on. And there's a small thing which he said, that in this sport there's only 10% of skill and 90% of your mental mindset. So that's what a big thing he said, and it really touched me that yeah, what he's saying, it's really right, that only 10% is your skill, and 90% is your just the mental mindset, how you prepare for a game. And the same thing I heard this from Mr. Mahendra Singh Dhoni as well in an interview. He said that only the 10% is your skill, and 90% is your just mental mindset, how strong you are and how mentally you prepare for a game. So that's a lot of learning I learned from them. And coming to the technical part as well, when I played with them, they taught me a lot of skills. They taught me, they gave me small, not many, but few small tips which helped me a lot, which helped me in a big way in my games, and improved me as a cricketer as well. Those small tips which they gave, because the small tips weren't small for me. For me, it was really a big thing, because those small tips changed my game totally. So I would like to say that even if a small tip is given by any of the professional cricketer, we as a common player, we consider it as a big tip, because that tip, who knows that it works really well for us. So that's why training with them is really a blessing for me.
That's really helpful for young cricketers as well, and all the sports enthusiasts who are watching us now. And actually, key takeaways from Chirag's point, which he has put across, is it's about 10% of your skill and 90% about your mindset, about your consistency, about your dedication, which you put on the field, is what separates us common players and the professional players. So that is a real key takeaway, and if you can imbibe those skills in you all, is really would really be helpful and take you on the next level. So, if we talk about professional players and unprofessional players, or not so professional players, or semi professional players,
Yeah.
so according to you, what difference or what better do they do than normal players or than normal amateur players to get there? I'm very sure it's not completely about the mindset. Yes, mindset plays an important
Yeah.
role, but there is a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, a lot of practice. So, what is that one thing which amateur player don't take or are on the verge of taking to get to that professional stage?
I would like to say, as you said, yeah, only the mindset is not a thing. There are a lot of factors that plays behind to become a professional cricketer.
Yeah.
Like, first thing I would say that I learned from there's a player, I'm sure you know him, Mr. Ravichandran Ashwin.
Mhm.
Uh, he has said in a lot of couple of interviews, and I watch a lot of podcasts of cricketers and a lot of sportsmen. So everyone says a common thing, that to become professional cricketer, they live a professional life. Like, example, they train professionally,
Mhm.
they eat accordingly, they sleep accordingly, they give the body rest accordingly, and they train accordingly. So that's what separates us from the professional players. It's just that how well do you give your body rest, because your body works 24 into 7 like a machine.
Yeah.
So you expect after that to give your body a proper rest, a proper rehab for the body, so that
Yeah.
you prepare for the next game properly.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel, that that separates us from the professional players, as their physique and their diet is really a specific one. They don't take unwanted things. They don't have unwanted things in their diet plan. Just be specific according to their body requirement. They eat the certain food. So that's when you know that Virat Kohli is the one big example who turned from non-vegetarian to a vegan,
Yeah.
because he said in an interview that my body, after a point of time, he felt that it's not suiting his body according to his body requirement. It's not suiting him. That's why he felt like he would turn into a vegan. So
Yeah.
that's when he understood his body and he turned into a vegan. It's not like seeing Virat Kohli, everyone should turn vegan.
Yeah.
We should figure out that what is required for our body and what are the things we should avoid and we should add in our diet.
Exactly.
So the diet is the first part, and the second part is training, the way how we train, because
Mhm.
each one's body, each one's role is different in the game. Each one's requirement or role is different in the game. So according to that, we have to train. So training is also a big part which plays in our life to become a proper or professional cricketer. So
Right.
these are the few things.
Yeah. So, like to become a professional, the first step you need to take is have a balanced lifestyle. According to your answer, which we figure out, it's having a balanced lifestyle. You need to know when to sleep, when to eat, when to train. Second thing which is
Exactly.
important is to understand your flaws and understand your weakness, what suits for your body, what doesn't suit for your body. And third is to keep track on it. I guess people who are
Exactly.
watching now have to note these things down, because this is the first steps you need to be on, you need to take as a professional. So moving on, let's talk about volleyball now, because you have also
Yeah.
played professional volleyball as well, right? Before cricket, and then you switched to cricket. So how
Yeah.
did volleyball came into picture? And you started as a volleyball and then you switched to cricket. Why did you change to cricket, and how did it come across your mind?
Actually, there's not a big story behind it. Only the thing was, I was in Chennai. I mean, I was born in Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
So in my school, there was volleyball and cricket. Both the things were there. But the
Okay.
volleyball was even more important because we had professional coaches in our school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why volleyball was given more importance. So that's why my interest also was drawn towards volleyball. And I
Yeah.
played a decent level, not a professional level, but I played, districts. I
Yeah.
played to a district level for the volleyball. And after that, I studied till my ninth standard in Chennai. Then afterwards, I moved on to Bangalore for 3 years, which is for my 10th, 11th, and 12th. And that's when I went to Bangalore, I went to a school called J International School.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there, when I went, I saw that, volleyball, there was not much of volleyball there. There was only cricket, a lot of cricket. And then when I went there, I spent my time there. I figured out, that the coaches were really professional there. There's a coach, I mean, his name is, he is my coach as well, of course. His name is Sanjay Sir.
Yeah.
His full name is Mr. Sanjay Sisat. He was the ex Pune assistant coach, the
Mm-hmm.
Pune team, which was in the IPL previously. So he was the ex assistant coach for the team, and there were many other coaches like Sanju Singh, who was the India under 19 video analyst. So there were such kind of professional coaches in that school. So that's where I drew my interest drew towards cricket, and
Right.
I went to that sport. Initially, it was a little weird for me to shift from volleyball to cricket
Mm-hmm.
because, to be honestly speaking, volleyball as well, I didn't think it as a professional level. Volleyball, I just used to play just to maintain fitness
Right.
and just to keep my physique right. And
Mm-hmm.
then cricket was when cricket I shifted because when I went to Bangalore, I saw there's a lot of cricket happening there, and I found that sport really interesting because the facilities as well there was really interesting. The cricket was main thing in that school, and the stadiums in my school was really huge. So seeing that, I felt really excited, and then since then I started going for the cricket and stuff. And after that, there is no looking back, and till
Okay.
now I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the journey you're living in, and it's been a dream journey for you as well, because the path of cricketing journey which is going on is a dream come true for every cricketer. So, but moving on, in India, cricket is a cluttered sport. Like, cricket is a religion in India, and every lane has cricketers, and kids inspire to be cricketers because of the likes of the god of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. Also because of MS Dhoni, because of his calm mindset, Virat Kohli with his fitness goals and fitness motivations, Rishabh Pant, people want to hit huge sixes like Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya. So all these things, we have role models in cricket, and every kid inspire to be cricketers. But not everyone makes it there. Not everyone makes it to the professional stage or the bigger platform. Not even the Ranji Trophy. So we have
Right.
so much cluttered cricketers in the sport. What makes the difference that only few qualify to be in the Ranji Trophy or to the IPL squad or to make it to the national team as an
Yeah, yeah.
international cricketer, and some players are just stagnated to a domestic level? So why does this happen? Because we have huge players, we have huge talents, but what, according to you, does we lack as cricketers or as an entire sport?
Uh, to start with, I feel that no one is less. Everyone has their unique talent. Everyone is good
Yes.
in the sport. In their area, everyone is good. But the thing is, the main prime thing is population itni hai India ki. So because of that, it's not possible to give chance to everyone. And आप ही देखिए मतलब इतना छोटा margin है कि from a population of billions, only 15 members are getting chance to play in the 11
Right.
for the
Right.
Indian team.
Right.
So you see, there's such a huge margin
Mm-hmm.
just from the billions and only 15 members getting selected.
Right.
So it's not everyone's cup of tea. Though everyone has talent, good talent, they can compete with the Indian players, but still, it's we can say luck. Ab luck bhi hota hai,
Right.
or talent bhi hota hai. So that's where I feel that population plays a big role in our country. That
Mm-hmm.
everyone is not capable to get chance to make it into the 11.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is, everyone tries their best. Everyone wants to play for India once they hold the bat or the ball. But somewhere, we lack. Somewhere we lack in fitness, or somewhere we lack in our routines. Like
Mm-hmm.
there are some of the players I know who are really good. Like some of my friends I know, they're really good. I mean, I'm sure that they can compete with the Indian players as well. But there are some of the areas where they lack in their mindset, or maybe about their diet, or maybe of their fitness. So there are some loopholes where they lack, and just because of that, they are just left behind, and they are not able to make it to the 11. So
Right.
such kind of factors are there, to play. As you can take me as well as an example, because even I'm trying hard to, to play a higher level. But
Mm-hmm.
only one thing we can do, we can just try and try. We can't, give reasons that nahi ho raha hai, upar nahi ja pa rahe hain.
Mm-hmm.
Only the thing is, we have to just keep going. We have to just keep pushing until we can.
Right.
That's the best thing we can do. And after that, result is not in our hands. As MS Dhoni says that doing process is in our hands. Result, it will take care of itself. If the process is right, the result doesn't matter.
Right.
If you're doing the process right, you will get the right result. If you aren't doing the right process, you won't get the result. It's as
Right.
simple.
Right. Right. So the key takeaway from this point is to keep passion to the sport which you are playing, is to be passionate, is to remain dedicated, is to remain motivated, because only you can do it for yourself as a player. And पुरानी कहावतों से ही हम सीखते हैं, कल्चर से ही हम सीखते हैं कि कर्म करते रहो, फल की चिंता मत करो. So that is
Exactly.
what we need to connect with the sport and create a bridge between that. सो बट इतना पॉपुलेशन का रोल था, इतने प्लेयर्स अगर ट्रायल्स देते हैं, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्लेयर्स हु वांट टू प्ले इन द कॉम्पिटिटिव स्टेज. एंड इतने सारे प्लेयर्स में अभी फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू टेक अ नॉर्मल क्रिकेटिंग ट्रायल, उसमें भी 50-60 स्टूडेंट्स या प्लेयर्स तो रहते ही है. उसमें से 10 या
Exactly.
20 मेक इट टू द स्क्वाड और दे गेट शॉर्टलिस्टेड. What should be that key factor just say you stand out from the crowd, and just say the selectors also think that he has something in him, he has some spark in him? Because everyone, there would be 10 bowlers, 10 fielders, there would be 20 batsmen, 30 all-rounders. In some way everyone has the same pattern to play or the same mindset to play, but what makes you stand out from the crowd for the selectors or for whoever is watching us?
For this, I'd like to just say that consistency is the key, because if you're practicing, if you're going for a selection, before you go for the selection, the selectors like to see your records, what you have done in your past,
Mm-hmm.
what are your scores. So if you have been performing consistently, no one is going to question you. As even my coach, Tyagarajan sir, his
Mm-hmm.
name is Tyagarajan sir. So he says me every time, if you're not able to make into the 11 in a team, in a particular team, just think that you're not good enough to make in the 11 because you're not being performing consistently. That is only the reason. There's no other rocket science in this. Because if you perform consistently, no one is going to question you, and you will be in the 11. And no one is going to, question your caliber, that why is he in the 11. If you're performing consistently, you will be in the 11. You will be playing every match. You will be performing every match. So the only key to this, to the selections and all those things, are that you have to perform consistently. You have to practice consistently, so that if you go in front of 30 crowd or even 300 crowd in front of everyone, if you're practicing every day, you will be able to make it to the selections
Right.
positively if you're practicing every day.
Right.
Because some people, they don't practice frequently, and then suddenly they go for the selections,
Right.
and they end up being not getting selected. Then afterwards they get demotivated, and then the negative thought comes into them, and should I quit the sport, or should I give a short break to the sport?
Right.
That's why, because I have been through these situations, and I have been a lot through these mindsets. So that's why I am sharing my own personal experience. That consistent performance and consistent practice is only the key for everything.
Like इससे ही जुड़ा सवाल आता है, adding to what you said, what your answer was. There's a question which comes in my mind. You go to a trial, right, and then you fail or you don't get selected. And as you mentioned, players get demotivated and the negative thoughts come in your mind. So you have been into similar situations where you must have been selected or you must have not been selected. So ऐसे time पे what is important for a player to hold and to boost that confidence and motivation? Because as players, I am a sportsman myself. I understand there are times we get demotivated and we feel, why are we even playing if we are not getting recognized or if we are not getting that next step and next platform to perform? So ऐसे time पे what helps be self motivated and build that self confidence again?
For me personally, when I get demotivated, I like to speak to my coach, my
Mhm.
guru, who's I said the one who's in Bangalore, my
Right.
coach Sanjay
Right.
sir.
Mhm.
He's the one coach, and the second person I would like to speak is the current coach, who's Mr. Tyagarajan sir. So after any selection or any match, if I don't perform well, I just give a call to them. I speak to
Right.
them. I tell them what happened, where did I go wrong, and why did I not get selected. And that's when they speak to me. They push me again. They make sure that I'm motivated again, and then I come back on the field and give my 100% next day, because uh, uh, एक खराब selection के कारण you can't ruin a whole day or a whole
Right.
year just
Right.
thinking that you're not good enough, because um, one particular selection or a particular match doesn't show how good you are a player. मतलब एक match ये नहीं दिखाता कि how good player you are. So it's only about matter of motivation, how motivated you are.
Right.
Because I know I'm well motivated even if I don't perform in several matches or if I don't get selected in selections. I am confident enough that I can be motivated back again if I speak to my coach or anyone who motivates me
Right.
and helps me to get back again and play again and come on the field and give my 100%.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So, with this motivation, there's an interesting fact with every sportsman who is watching would relate to is like we have a specific thing, a ritual we can say, wherein motivates us instantly. What is that for you? Like, for example, I am a football player and we have tights when we have tights inside before we wear the shorts. So if I wear that tights, I feel a different kind of motivation and confidence. And if I don't wear it in some matches, I perform really bad. So there are some rituals wherein I've seen cricketers who, if they put their collars up, if they roll their sleeves, they're going to take a wicket in the next ball. Or if
Yeah.
they have some signs which instantly motivates them, they step on the field with the left leg first or with the right leg first. So these are some of these rituals which cricketers or people follow, which instantly motivate them for us. What is that for you?
For me, honestly, initially I was a lot of superstitious because I used to follow cricketers and do some crazy stuff. Like when I go inside the field while I'm batting, I used to keep my right foot first,
Right.
and then afterwards I used to go inside. When I keep my right foot first, I used to turn and look at the sun, and
Hmm.
then just go inside. So that was the ritual I used to follow. Then later, after a time, I figured out. I watched an interview of, I guess I watched an interview of Cheteshwar Pujara or someone.
Hmm.
They said that being a lot of superstitious, it suffocates you from inside.
Hmm.
It like ऐसा लगता है कि there's a lot of things going in your mind.
Right.
So instead of that, you should keep your mind free. You should not suffocate your mind with a lot of rituals and a lot of these kind of superstitions,
Hmm.
and just believe in yourself.
Right.
So that's when it hit my mind, that yeah, it's really disturbing me. Like some matches, I feel like if I'm going with my left leg in first
Mhm.
and I'm getting out, and that's when it hits my mind, कि नहीं आज मैं अगर जल्दी आउट हुआ क्योंकि मैंने लेफ्ट लेग पहले अंदर डाला
Right.
इसलिए मैं आज
Right.
जल्दी आउट हुआ.
Right.
So that's where I feel that corrupts your mind because you feel that just because of that left leg you performed bad,
You start
but
giving
the
too much
reality is
attention
what.
to that details.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Instead of giving too much effort to that details, you should focus on your skill level.
Mhm.
That why did you go wrong? Why did you
Right.
play this ball badly, or why did you get out on that particular ball?
Right.
You should focus on that skill instead of focusing in these minute details, which
Right.
will disturb your mind
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So sports is a growing industry, and cricket or being a professional player is a growing industry, and we tend to attract injuries. We tend to get injured fast, or we overtrain ourselves sometimes. We are so motivated that we overtrain uh, ourselves sometimes, and injuries होने के chances बढ़ जाते हैं. And as a player's career, injuries is like a dead end because sometimes the injuries are too much that it can end our career, and as players it is a risk which we take because एक बार injure हो गए तो career सीधा खत्म या फिर बैक ट्रैक पे आ जाता है, एंड देन यू नीड टू ट्राई इनटू कोचिंग और यू नीड टू ट्राई इनटू अदर स्टफ्स टू गेट कनेक्टेड टू द स्पोर्ट्स. So how do you avoid or manage these injuries? And if you have some injuries, and I'm sure injuries to hote रहेंगे because we are sports people,
Yeah, yeah.
and how do you recover well?
First of all, injuries, of course, it is an part and parcel of our
Yeah.
game. So injuries होना बड़ी बात नहीं है. I guess recovering from that is a really big
Mhm.
task,
Mhm.
because I have seen players, getting a minute of the injuries, but still it takes a lot of time for them to recover, because they don't care for themselves properly, and it takes a lot of time to get it right, or they don't rehab. Basically, they don't get time to rehab for the injury. So that's why it exaggerates more. Even a small injury, it exaggerates more if you don't give a proper rehab to it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's where, taking care of injury is really important, because if you don't take care of your injury, in longer run, you won't be able to play the sport first.
Mhm.
And the second thing, you won't be physically fit to play any other sport or do any other physical activity as well. So even if I previously, a few years ago, I had a lower back injury, and I never used to, take it seriously. In some matches, I used to get a small pain in my lower back. I used to think that, it's just a temporary pain; it'll just go away. I used to just take some spray and just apply some spray and just leave it. But later, the injury became so serious that I was unable to get up from my bed. And then later I realized, I had a reality check on myself, that taking care of injury, even of the minute injury as well, it's really important. Because before, when I had injury, I didn't, take care properly, and now when the injury is exaggerated, I'm unable to, move. I was completely on a bed rest for 1 month or 2 months.
Right. Mm.
Then that's when I felt that, taking care of injury is really important for any sportsman in any field. And giving a proper rehab and taking proper nutrition at that time is really important,
Yeah.
because when you're injured, you don't expect to eat anything and everything.
Yeah.
Doctor as well, when you go to consult a doctor, he suggests you to eat specific things. He gives you specific supplements or a specific nutrition to follow till the time you're injured.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel that, taking care of injury is really important in any sport,
Right.
or else it can exaggerate at any time.
Exactly. I guess with sportsmen or with sports people, there's always a thing. We have a warrior mindset that we always think, no, no, बहुत छोटी बात है ये. We can fight through it. बहुत छोटी बात है ये. हम लोग कर देंगे. हम लोग खेल लेंगे. But sometimes you need to be 100% fit to perform. और कभी भी ऐसा लगता है that you are not 100% fit. It is really advisable that you take rest, thorough rest for it to recover well from the injuries. Moving on. We spoke about diet, we spoke about having that passion for the sport, we spoke about how you need to get to the next level. But there's one important factor which is a really underrated factor and which is like an underdog, and people don't really give importance to that factor much, is about consistency. Is doing the same thing over and over again. We call it consistency, but some people call it just a monotonous thing to do, just a normal routine to do. But that's what consistency is. So, how do you build consistency in terms of your training, in terms of your diet, in terms of your balanced lifestyle? And you have a checklist which, I have had food on time, I am sleeping on time, my sleep schedule is on time. So, how do you manage your consistency, and what keeps you motivated to be consistent?
Yeah, as I said earlier as well, to perform in a match or to go for selection, before that you need to be consistent, because being consistent is only the key to play a higher level game
Mhm.
in any sport. Because if you're not consistent, any other better player would, surpass you and would just move on, because he would be more consistent than you, and he would just surpass you. So that's when I feel that, consistency is really big role. It plays a big role in any sportsman life, because if you're consistent, no one's gonna question you, and you're just gonna climb up, and no one's gonna stop you. And injuries, I feel that if you're consistent, if you're training consistently, if you're having a proper diet, proper nutrition, uh, you won't get injured, because you're training consistently. You are in that pattern, so you won't
Yeah,
get injured anytime.
yeah,
The time only you get injured is when you don't go training regular, you don't have a proper nutrition. That's when you get minute injuries, and that
yeah,
exaggerates later.
yeah.
And coming onto the checklist, I feel that, at the beginning, to do same thing every day, like as you said, just get up every day, go for practice,
Yeah.
have a proper diet. That at times it, yeah, for a normal person or for a sportsman, at times it's really a headache. They feel irritated at times. यार सुबह उठ के हर रोज यही करना है,
यही कर रहे हैं,
बस
right.
practice जाना है, यही कर रहे हैं. So at times you might feel that irritating. It's really a hard work to
Mhm.
get up every day and to do the same thing you have been doing. It might feel a bit irritating, but once you do it consistently, it will become a habit. It will become a habit for you, and then you won't feel later a burden. And
Yeah,
if you do it consistently and regularly, you will feel that that's a part and parcel of your life, and
right,
you'll be able to follow it consistently.
right.
And checklist, I think initially some sportsmen they follow a proper checklist. ये time पे खाना है, ये time पे सोना है,
Mhm.
and this amount of training I have to do. But this is only the initial part. They use the checklist, but later what happens when they do this thing regularly, when they follow the schedule regularly, later they don't require a checklist because now it has become like a muscle memory for them. उनको
Mhm.
पता है कि ये time पे ये करना है, ये time पे ये करना है. So later after some point of time they don't follow the checklist because that is already set in their mind like a muscle memory, that at this point of time I have to do this and at that time I have to do this. So if you're consistent enough and if you're motivated enough, you don't need a checklist. You just have to have a good muscle memory and good dedication that कि ये time पे मेरे को ये करना ही है and I have to complete this task
Mhm.
by any chance. So that's where I feel that consistency is really important, and being motivated and dedicated to any sport is really important.
Right. It is always said, failures. If you don't taste failures, you won't value success. If you don't taste failures, you won't have the value of winning. So failures are a part and parcel of a sportsman's career or a sports people's life, because जितना we achieve उतना तो ज्यादा we fail, and which people don't know.
Mhm.
They don't know that our days, our bad days, or they don't know when we have not performed. But our achievements are on always on the limelight. So
Exactly.
how do you handle your failures, and what different you do from other sports people to be on the top and to handle these failures or to manage these failures? Because I'm very sure there would be lowest points in your career where you have even thought about giving up, or whether you have thought about ki, I would change my sport, or like I'm done with this. So there have
Yeah.
been lowest points in every sportsman's life. So how do you manage these stress and these failures?
Uh, Failures, yeah. I think the biggest example I would tell, I mean, even the world knows right now, about Virat Kohli, that how मतलब इतने खराब फेज से वो अभी गुजर रहे हैं. So such bad phase he's going through right now, and that's when now he says that now I'm able to taste the failure, because earlier when he was in his peak for 15 years, he was at his peak of his career. He was performing every match he was performing consistently. He was getting a lot of awards. He was getting a lot of honors. So these 15 years was like really, a really, I would say that it was really a good dream for him. But now he says that it's a reality check for me, as I'm going through really a bad phase. So now I'm getting to know that what's reality check and what's real thing about failure.
Yeah,
And this is the current phase. I have to come out of it.
yeah,
So I don't think there's better example than Virat Kohli, as he's going through really a bad phase.
yeah,
uh, Going through the failures is a good thing. I would like to say, because when you go to failures, you have a reality check. You have
mm,
check about what went wrong, and what are the things where you can improve on.
yeah,
So going into failures is like, when you go there. Of course, it's rough at times, but when you go through it, you feel like that you have to give up sport. And a lot of things come even in my mind when I don't perform in certain matches or certain practice sessions. I feel like, I have done it enough. I think I don't have more caliber than this. I think I should give up now. But then later, the driving factor for me is like, I watch a lot of motivation videos, a lot of uh, podcasts like of cricketers, like Breakfast with Champions and all
yeah,
this kind of stuff. I watch a lot of those things, and in all the interviews, I see only one thing, a common thing, where each cricketer says, that going into a failure, it is a part and parcel for every sportsman. But the thing is, आप उससे बाहर कैसे आते हो? That is the main thing. Like how you come out of it. Going into that is everyone's thing. It's everyone's sports, every sportsman's part and parcel thing. But उससे बाहर आना, how you come out of it, that's the thing. That how
yeah,
good you come out of it, and उस failure में जाके आप क्या सीखे हो, what have you learned from that failure, that is the main important thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel that getting failed at times is good as well, to have a reality check on yourself, that where you stand
Right.
and how strong is your mindset to come back.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So, just diverting our mind apart from cricket, you have also been, you are a vice president of Asha NGO, and I would really, because when I read your profile and when I saw this NGO thing, it really connects me to people because of the NGO thing, because of the social work they do, because uh, it is our duty to give back to the society. It is our duty to serve the society or serve the community we are living in. So I really want to highlight and bring this point up about your role in the Asha NGO, and what do you do in these NGO, and what is this NGO all about, and your role in this NGO.
This NGO, I think I joined when I was in school in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
So in this NGO, basically we go to the orphanages, the old age homes, and we provide them whatever it's and whatever the requirement of the old age is. Like when we go there, some people ask, they need beds to sleep. They don't have, some orphanages, they don't have proper beds as well for them to sleep. Some orphanages, they don't have proper water facility or drinking water facility. And so there are a lot of factors like this. So we make sure that we fill those gaps, we fill those holes, so that they don't feel like they are left behind. So that's why my role, and basically my thing is, to be personally, I'm really an emotional kind of person. Like if I see any needy person, I just tend to help them. I just feel like I should help them in any way I can, like according to my capacity I can help them. So that's when I feel that giving back to the society is really important, because a needy person, if he मतलब वो जाएगा तो कहाँ जाएगा, because we are only the ones who have to help them, because even they are humans, we are humans.
Right.
It's just about the time and the situation. They are in the bad situation, that's why they are asking for the help.
Right.
That's why I feel that we should lend hands and help them whenever it's required. A genuine help for them can make a big difference in their life. So that's when I guess last year we went to an orphanage. They didn't have proper water facility, drinking facility. We donated them an RO purifier.
Right.
And then I mean, we collected the members who were there in the Asha club. Everyone gave some amount of money. We collected the money, and we bought a RO purifier, and we installed into that orphanage, which is in Bangalore. And like, so such kind of things we have done a lot, like giving clothes to the poor needy people, giving them food, giving them
Right.
because I stayed in a residential school in Bangalore, and there there are a lot of clothes which are just left behind.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of uniforms, a lot of clothes which people after the end of the year they just leave behind in the school and they just
Right.
go home. So those are the clothes we take, we just gather those clothes, we collect those clothes and keep in a bag or a package. And then later, when we get chance to go to the orphanage, we, donate the same clothes to them, so that, the resource at least doesn't go waste. It goes
Right.
to a needy person.
Right.
So that is our motto, that, nothing should go waste. The thing which we feel waste, that might be useful for some other person.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's our motto.
Yeah. So basically, what I feel is, if you give back to the society, or I really want to appeal to everyone who's watching us now, is to work with an NGO or to serve the society back. Is because if we talk about needy people, but if you look at it in the wider picture, we all are needy, but our needs are different. They need basic necessities, but what we need is, we need luxuries and we need a success, or the needs are different. We all are needy, but the needs are different. So, and also as sports people, working with an NGO or serving back to the society, it really keeps you humble and grounded. So it is always important to always serve to the society and give back to the society. So I really want to appeal each and every one of us who's watching us now, each and every one of you is watching us now, to really go out there and serve the society. Last question for the day, Chirag.
Yeah.
Any message for sports enthusiasts or cricket lovers or sports lovers, in what to do in sports, and how do you need to build a career, a professional career in sports, what your approach should be. So any kind of a message to all these people who are watching us.
uh, to all the people who are watching, I would like to say just one thing, that if you're playing any sport, or if you are struggling in your life right now, Just think that this is just a temporary thing. Time is just, I mean, the struggle is just permanent, but later, if you struggle right now, later you will have really a blissful life.
Mm.
Because there was a small quote that I implemented in my life, that tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Yeah,
So that's where I feel that time the tough times are just temporary. It just lasts for just for a few months or few years,
yeah,
but after that, being through that struggle, later you would realize you will get a lot of learnings from that struggle, and then you will implement in your life to how make your life better and perform in every sport.
right.
So just a small message to everyone that don't stay demotivated, or don't be demotivated just because of one bad day or one bad year, maybe I would say. Just think and hope that a good or something better is coming for you in the coming future. Because anything happens for good, any incident or anything happens for something good.
Yeah,
So I'd like to say that just stay motivated, stay humble, and stay grounded, so that you get the result in the future.
yeah. I guess this is what Chirag has to say for the last time. Stay humble, stay motivated, and stay grounded. That would really help each and every one of you to boost your career in sports. So, with this, we come to the end of the episode 5 of the Invincible Journey. Thank you, Chirag, for joining and giving us your time for this show. We really appreciate it, and we are really thankful and helpful for your inputs in this show. And we are very sure that, like me, many other people who are watching you and who heard you would really benefit from it. So thank you, Chirag, for coming
Yeah,
on the show.
thank you.
Thank you. With this, we come an end to the Invincible Journey episode 5. Keep watching and thank you.